...2023 saw record-breaking fentanyl-related deaths in New Brunswick, Manitoba's largest hospital to introduce AI weapon detection. Family looks for answers after Edmonton man killed in confrontation with police. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger break with the West African bloc and form a new group. And 11 people are dead in a landslide in an illegal mine in Indonesia. Good morning. It's Tuesday, July 9th. I'm Nora. Here are your headlines. 2023 saw a record-breaking number of fentanyl-related deaths in New Brunswick. That's according to the province's tracking, which also shows that 2022 had the second highest level of fentanyl-related deaths. The report from New Brunswick Public Health also stated more quote-unquote novel substances have been found in people who overdosed. It noted that naloxone was at its highest use in 2023, but that take-home naloxone kits are not enough to deal with overdoses from more toxic drugs. Harm reduction experts in the province have been calling for expanding and increasing harm reduction programs to address the issue effectively. Next to Manitoba, where Manitoba Health Sciences Centre, the largest hospital in the province, is getting an AI weapon detection system installed at its entrance. This is following a series of violent incidences at the hospital, according to CBC's Arturo Chang. Health Sciences Centre would be the second hospital in Canada to install AI devices for this purpose. Windsor Regional Hospital has had similar devices installed for almost a year. And you might wonder why Windsor? My initial reaction to that is because it's a border town and lots of wacky stuff happens in Windsor that crosses the border. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're also extremely paranoid in the bustling metropolis of Windsor, Ontario. The article quotes several security analysts who say that the technology is not sophisticated enough to do what it promises, and that companies selling these products have been known to not be fully transparent about its capabilities. Dr. Sean Young, Chief Operating Officer at the Health Sciences Centre, told CBC that several companies would be participating in the pilot project, and the equipment does not use facial recognition, which is all the article mentions about possible privacy concerns concerning the technology. You know, considering how technology is used in such racially targeted ways, it seems to me that that's the biggest threat in using AI at hospitals to determine who might or might not have a weapon. What happens if a weapon is detected? How are police brought in? As of course they likely would be. And Winnipeg police are not exactly known for their kind behavior towards individuals, especially if they might be suspected of having a weapon. Will this increase police violence against people, and will it increase racial targeting of people? Money's on yes. And so we'll have to watch to see how that plays out. Next, Alberta's police watchdog is looking into an incident that involved Edmonton police allegedly shooting and killing 28-year-old Matheos Arcangelo. His family is trying to get answers after Arcangelo was killed in a confrontation with police. Police confronted Arcangelo after they responded to a call about a vehicle rollover with an impaired driver. According to reporting by Eric Bay and Aaron Sousa for Global News, 3 minutes of the video of the police confrontation with Arcangelo has been removed. While the story describes the video showing police pointing a quote-unquote object at Arcangelo, it's fair to assume that it was probably a gun. Arcangelo had to be taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, which he later succumbed to. Bay and Sousa's article says that Global News has not seen footage showing the 3 missing minutes from the original video. Of course, it's necessary to mention that Arcangelo was black. Next to international news, and first to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. These 3 countries have signaled their latest shift away from the rest of West Africa. All 3 countries have experienced military coups in recent years, which has resulted in shifts away from Western influence, particularly in America and France. Earlier this year, the three countries also broke away from the Economic Community of West African States, or ECOWAS, a grouping of West African countries that started out as an economic bloc, but has taken on a more political role in the region in recent years. As an ECOWAS meeting was taking place starting over the weekend, the heads of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger signed a mutual defense treaty announced last year called the Alliance of Sahel States. The military heads of the three countries have repeatedly accused ECOWAS of doing the West's, particularly France's, bidding in the region, while the heads of ECOWAS warned that the new treaty threatened to cause increasing fissures and quote-unquote disintegration in the region. Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris reported that there are efforts to get the three countries to return to ECOWAS, but the leaders made it clear that a return to the bloc would not happen. All of this comes as the U.S. announced this past weekend that it was removing what was remaining of its forces and equipment from Niger, and as various countries in the continent have been pursuing increased security and economic ties with Russia. And finally, to Indonesia, where a landslide has killed 11 people and left over 40 people missing. The landslide occurred in an illegal gold mine on one of the country's islands. Both miners and residents near the mine were killed in the landslide. Over 100 rescuers have been deployed to the remote area where the incident occurred, walking through thick mud and continuing rain, but have not been able to use an excavator because of how remote the location is. So far, 11 bodies have been recovered, including 2 women and a 4-year-old boy. 79 villagers had been in the mine when the landslide happened. While Indonesia typically experiences landslides during the rainy season between November and April, it's unusual for them to occur in July, which is the dry season. Torrential rain caused this incident. Illegal mines where people go find gold or other minerals without proper equipment and protection are also common throughout the country. Those are your headlines for Tuesday, July 9th. I'm Nora. You're listening to this podcast at sandynora.com, on the Real News Network podcast feed, and anywhere you get your podcasts. It's Tuesday. It's Sandy and Nora Day. Another excellent episode of Sandy and Nora drops in a couple of hours, and so stay tuned for that. Today, we're talking about the British and French elections and what might the impacts be for Canada. What can Canada learn from what's happened in those two countries? And why is Brian Lilley going full fascist online with no repercussions? We unpack all of that in a couple of hours, so stay tuned.